Once I edit this video, I'm going to include all the music necessary for this one to be more animated and as cheerful as possible. Hey, what's up, Brave New World? It's Joshua again here with a brand new video in which, excuse me, today I'm bringing you a brand new episode of this section of my channel called Astronomy Support. You know what I do, in which I clarify a variety of topics regarding the universe, the Earth, the solar system, and other elements that you can find in it. This is directed for you, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, who believes and thinks that knowing that the Earth goes around the sun is totally useless knowledge. If you live in the 21st century, you would realize how wrong you are, because there are so many dim-witted tweets who refuse to accept facts that the Earth does indeed goes around the sun, but also that the Earth is not a relatively regular sphere, but a flat thing, like a tortilla, like a pancake, like some hotcakes. Damn it, I hate those people just as much as I hate anti-vaxxers, but that's a topic for another video. Anyway, so what are we doing right now? Today, this topic was decided by a particular person who wrote a comment in the last episode of Astronomy Support with Dr. Isaac Asimov. In the last episode of the question 37, which was... Give me a second. Damn it, my mouth mask! I am not an anti-masker. I hate those people. And it is so sad that the US has to use incentives for idiots such as scholarships, guns, burgers, and money in order to incentivize and encourage and get people to use the mask. But that's another topic for another video. Well, actually, I just kind of covered it on the way while I was reading that, so whatever. Let's have a look. Pablo Bello, this is for you, my friend. Pablo Bello, you selected and you determined the next episode of Astronomy Support with Dr. Isaac Asimov. So this particular episode is for you, my friend. Pablo Bello, if you're watching this, this is for you. In the episode of the question number 37, you made a comment, a really nice comment about the episode 37, in the last episode, question 37, about how far the moon was. And I ask you to choose a number between 1 and 60. I asked you to choose a number between 1 and 60, and you chose... what number did you choose? What number did you choose? God damn it. Where the heck are you? No, I don't want to hide all the answers. God damn it. So, yeah, one more time. My dear viewer, Pablo Bello juega y más says, he selected the number 34. I wonder why Pablo would select the number 34. I'm pretty sure that it has nothing to do with the rule 34 of the internet. Yes, I am pretty sure it has nothing to do with the rule 34 of the internet, right? 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 I wonder why Pablo selected the question number 34. Before we open the question number 34, let's have a look at the rules of the internet. Let's have a look at the rules of the internet. Know your meme, and it says, what's the name? Rules of the internet, know your meme. What's the rule 64? No. What is the rule 34? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's have a look at the rules of the internet at the list. But come on, I need the list of the internet. I need, Do not talk about the rules 2 to 33. Number 34. There is an adult version of it. No exceptions. The exception to rule 34 is the citation of rule 34. Maybe that's why Pablo selected this rule. I'm probably being superficial and idiot, but yeah, whatever. Parody of the rules. I need the goddamn list of the rules. God damn it. Where are they? A cat is fine too. Huh, there are no girls on the internet, come on. Aha, there it is. You do not talk about /B, which is 4chan, and as we know very well, we don't talk about it. I wonder if I would get some boost in my views if I talk about 4chan. Plenty of YouTubers have already done it, so let's go back to the topic, which is the question number 34 of Astronomy Support with Dr. Isaac Asimov, and that is... Let's have a look at this particular episode that says... Oh, give me a second. Let's have a look at this particular episode that says... number 34. Does the Earth shine? Does the Earth shine? Oh my god. Does the Earth generate light as if it were some kind of a sun, some kind of a star, some kind of a dark, white, yellow, orange star? That's kind of absurd and that's kind of ridiculous because we know very well that the Earth is a planet, not a sun, not a star, right? Therefore, without reading it, by the way, I will include a timestamp as to where the real episode starts because I was just distracting myself talking about the episode of today, which is the number 34. Question number 34. Does the Earth shine? We are about to find out with a more detailed answer with Mr. Isaac Asimov. Stay tuned to find out. If the moon is dark, if the moon is a dark body that shines, as it does, by reflecting sunlight, then might not the Earth, which is also a dark body, shine by reflecting sunlight too? Okay, I didn't expect that, and now I remember reading this like a couple of months ago, a couple of years ago, no, like a year and a couple of months ago, and I have to say, yeah, that one makes total sense. The moon is not shining, the moon is reflecting the sunlight. You might as well remember that next time you look at the moon and think that the moon has a light of its own. It doesn't. That's why new moon is a thing, just like there is full moon. It seems reasonable to suppose this, but people were reluctant to accept that thought, clinging to the notion that things on Earth were fundamentally different from the things in the sky. How could the Earth shine as though it were a heavenly object, when in reality it wasn't? However, you might want to consider... I'm so sorry. You might want to consider that the Earth might be a heavenly object from the perspective of a different person. Hello, Adich. So, let us continue. How could the Earth shine as though it were a heavenly object when it wasn't? Of course, the best way to find out if the Earth glows like the moon would be... the best way to find out if the Earth glows like the moon would be to go far out into space and look back at the Earth from a great distance. But that was not possible until the 60s, before which time the question had to be settled right on the Earth's surface. Hello, Adia. How are you, friend? So one more time. Oddly enough, it was. Sometimes when the moon is a thin crescent, you can see the dim reddish structure of the rest of the moon filling out the circle. It is the rest of the moon and not some other body, because the moon has certain visible markings on it, and the dim reddish structure has those same markings. People still call this effect the old moon in the new moon's arms. I like that name. Let's remember the name again. The old moon in the new moon's arms. I like the way that sounds, to be honest. It sounds rather cool, and it sounds at some point, it sounds kind of badass, you know? It does sound kind of badass. Let's acknowledge that. Let's continue. As you can see from my action of scratching my lips and scratching my nose and my lips, you might realize that this beard is not really real. It's not actually real, but that, who cares? I just like to use it. Back to the question. People, and for a long time, no one had any good explanation of it, about this effect called the old moon in the new moon's arms. In about 100 before Christ, the Greek philosopher Posidonius, let's remember the name of this particular Greek philosopher. When this video is edited, I will include the name of this philosopher somewhere on the screen. I think I'm going to include it here. And the microphone is going to be right there so that in this white space, I can include the name of that philosopher. So it goes like this. One more time. The Greek philosopher Posidonius, born in 135 before Christ and died in 50 before Christ, thought that the moon was partly transparent so that a little sunlight leaked through it. Leak, the same way a drop of water, the same way that a drop of water, the same way that a drop of light. Is that what you're suggesting? Because it seems to me that's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. Please double check me and fact check me. That goddamn connection. Let us continue. But suppose the Earth did reflect sunlight the way the moon does. When the moon is a thin crescent stage, when the moon is in a thin crescent stage, it is almost exactly between us and the sun, so that we see only a little bit of its lighted surface along one edge. If you were on the moon at this time, however, you would see the sun shining over the moon's shoulder, so to speak, and lighting up the entire face of the Earth that happens to be pointed toward the moon. In short, when you see a new moon from Earth, you see a full Earth from the moon. That sounds crazy, but it makes total sense. Boom! If you are on the moon, you will see immediately when you see the new moon, when the moon is totally dark, this is the moon and this is the Earth. When the moon is totally black, it's totally new moon, and you see it from the Earth. On the moon, you will see that the Earth is perfectly visible and it's shining like a perfect circle. Let's not forget that. It sounds crazy, but it makes perfect sense. It's a matter of perspective, you know? It's like you guys. For example, you, the person watching this video, it's going to see my full face. But me, I don't see your face. You are in a new face, metaphorically speaking. Let us continue. Yes, the microphone is in a good position. Let us continue. When the moon is new, the side of the moon facing toward us is getting now sunlight. That makes sense. But there is a full Earth in the moon's sky. The Earth is larger than the moon. And because of its cloudy atmosphere, it reflects more of the sunlight than falls on it than the moon does. On the whole, the full Earth as seen from the moon is about 70 times as bright as the full moon as seen from Earth. That sounds difficult, but it makes perfect sense when you analyze it. And if you didn't understand it, it's okay. Rewind the video so you can take a look again. I will read it again. When the moon is new, the side of the moon facing toward us is getting no sunlight, but there is a full Earth on the moon's sky. The Earth is larger than the moon, and because of its cloudy atmosphere, it reflects more of the sunlight than falls on it than the moon does. On the whole, the full Earth as seen from the moon is about 70 times as bright as the full moon as seen from Earth. That's a little hard, but I understand it perfectly. I don't know about you. I'll be reading your comments to clarify any doubts that you might have. The unlit side of the moon is therefore receiving the light of the full Earth. Earth light is far feebler than sunlight, but it is enough to light up the dark side of the moon measurably. Then it allows us to see the moon's dark side very faintly at the time of the new moon. Galileo, we all know who he is. Galileo was the first to advance this explanation of the old moon in the new moon's arms, and it made so much sense that few have doubted it since. Now, that's a fascinating topic. So, to summarize it, no, the Earth does not shine, but it does reflect sunlight the same way it does. For example, look at the white wall behind me. This white wall does not have any light. Give me a second. I have a crazy idea, but My pleasure. So one more time. For example, this white wall right behind me doesn't have any light, but it's reflecting the light of the light bulb. You know what I mean? What's the meaning of that? For example, right now, let me turn off this light, and you will see that the color is going to change. As you can see, there is almost no light whatsoever here. However, you are going to be able to you are going to be able to see that zero light is being emitted. It's being given away by this wall, this white wall over here. Let's imagine that this white wall behind me, ignore this painting. Let's imagine that this white wall is the earth. And the earth doesn't give away any light of its own, but reflects light. Now let me turn it off. And now it's reflecting much more light and my face looks brighter. You know what I mean? You have any questions? Please write it down in the comments below. That was it for today. Thank you very much for being here and synchronizing or watching. I'm not sure if the word synchronizing exists. Let me check. I don't know. I don't want to be speaking Spanglish in my videos. Sintonizar. Significado. What's the meaning of that word? In English, what's the meaning of that? Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for being in this episode of Astronomy Support with Dr. Isaac Asimov. Remember, I'm not Isaac Asimov, but just a regular fan who loves his content. Thank you so much. See you later. Farewell. Bye. And by the way, Pablo, this is for you. If you watch this video, remember that this video was made for you and by you.